Hi, I'm Neil and thank you very much for joining me today for a review of Maui. This is a 2 to 4 player tile laying game with a mixed bag of components which I'll go through in a minute, and it takes about 20 to 30 minutes. I've been quite enjoying playing it. I'm going to take you down to the table, show you how the game plays. I'll then show you some of the components and talk about the rules, and then I'll bring you back up for my final thoughts. Okay, cheers! Okay, so this is Maui set up for a two-player game. I'm only showing you one player board here, but basically another player would have their board. Each player would randomize where they put these. They put them on top of the picture that matches, and then you turn them over. And these are bonuses for when you collect these if you're able to do so. Each player will get one sand dollar. They'll also get one towel, which they must place with this symbol at the top. It must always be at the top. That's very, very important. It's double-sided, but they're exactly the same on both sides. You'll have a whole bag of tiles there. Some are put in the market over here with one extra sand dollar on each. And then we have the score trackers for the 5 different colours of tiles. So, once you've done that, establish who's going to be the first player, give them the first player token. On their turn, the player can either draft one of these new tiles, either costing 0 from this here, 1 from here, or 2 from here. If you take one from, say for example, if you took this one, you have to place it there and take that, slide them down. I'll show you in a minute. Otherwise, what you can do is take one of the piles of sand dollars, and that's your turn over. So what are you trying to do on this game? What you're trying to do is match up the different colors of tiles. So if I took this one here, I would place it, remember this has to go at the top, I would place it like this. Slide these two across, take a new one out from the bag, place it there. Then I would score on this score chart for the connections I've made. So I've made one blue connection, and you look over here on the right hand side and it tells you for each connection how much it's worth. So this is one connection, one point. So I take my score marker and add it to the light blue there. So that's worth 3 points, worth doing. The orange is also 1, so I will place that in the orange. So that would be my go. The next player would have their go. Let's say, for example, they draft that one. And then it would be my go again. So what we can do now is I can show you some of the ways in which you can score extra points and some of the ways in which you can lose some points. So when you place a towel, it must always connect in one way with one of the previous ones. Now, I couldn't do that as an example because none of these are connected. But if I do that, that is connected. So that's fantastic. So what I'm going to get here is I'm going to get one more in the orange. And then look along here, I'm getting 2 in the yellow. So 1, 2, and obviously nothing in the blue. So these will move across. Next player has a go. And then I will have my go. Okay. Now, let's say for some crazy reason I decide to do this. I mean, it's actually not a bad choice. If I place a sand dollar here, I can take this one here. This one does go outside of the scoring zone. And whenever something goes outside the scoring zone, you place one of these -1 points. That's for the trees, that's for the beach. So you've got the trees here and the beach here, and I would place that on top like that. The reason why you might want to do that, though, is because this region here scores 3 points. So I would score 3 points for the dark blue and another 2 points for the yellows. So as you can see, you're going to be building your tiles in this way. If you place something over the top of one of these purple pearls, it goes in the purple region. Gold pearl goes in the gold region. If you go through one of these, you can either move the pink towel scoring up or the dark blue scoring up, and then you've got the yellow and the dark blue there. You're going to keep on playing until one player has placed their 12th towel. So they're going to have completed, they're going to got to the end. All other players continue playing until everyone's had equal number of goes. So in other words, if the first player finishes the game, all the other players get to have one more go. And then you're going to add up your scores. Your scores are going to be a combination of how far you got up on these tracks. You'll get 1 point for each sand dollar you have. You'll lose a point for each minus towel you've got, one that's either been washed away or in the trees, and then you'll score points according to your pearls. For one pearl in the color there, so if one purple would be worth 2 points, if I had two, it'd be worth 5, 3 would be 9, and same for the gold pearls. And that is pretty much the entirety of the base game. There is an additional mode where you play with crabs, where you don't want to be going over the crabs, so you've got to play quite cleverly. And that's pretty much it. So let me now talk to you about some of the components. Okay, so with Maui, we have a bit of a mixed bag. What we have is we have a really good and clear rule book, really easy to follow, not too long, nice pictures describing everything, explains the whole game. Absolutely fine rule book, no problems whatsoever. We then have some absolutely lovely thick tiles for the towels, really gorgeous, lovely thick tiles, and similar. The pearls, absolutely fine. Sand dollars, really good quality. So far so good. But we've got some problems. Now, oh yeah, sorry, I should also say the bag is absolutely lovely as well. The player boards are incredibly thin and flimsy. They're like a card, a bendable card. It's frustrating. It should have been a board. I understand why they've done it. They've done it to fit it into the box size, and they've also done it to reduce the weight. But it doesn't mean it doesn't make the game feel like a cheap product. It really does. Similar to the boards for the drafting and the boards for the scoring. Now, there's more problems with the boards for the scoring. Oh, sorry, I should have explained earlier on. When you go through one of these tiles, you grab one of these. If there's only one there, obviously you grab the only one, and you can place it later on to change the colour of something. But it's a little bit. But yeah, so let's talk about some of the problems. So we've got this score chart here, and you're placing your very similarly coloured score tokens, and they're massive, and it goes over the top of them. And why is only the colour for each of these only at the top and the bottom? Why is it not done on each and every one? The fact that you have to place these at the beginning in certain locations, why is it not marked on here? You have to quickly refer to the rule book each and every time because you always think, which way is it? Which way is it? So that's crazy. I don't understand that. Once again, look how flimsy it is. But the biggest problem, without a shadow of a doubt, is the player colours. You'll see I've chosen to be the red player. There is also that's the red player. There's also a red player. What is that all about? And a white and bluey-ish colour. Why go for red or pink when we've already got a red and an orange on here? Why go for a blue when we've got two blues on here? It literally makes no sense. And why are these so massive? You should really just have little cubes going up so you can each keep an eye on where they are. And they should be different to the rest of the game. It makes very little sense. It really, really, really frustratingly that a game that it's come from a really good publisher who make very good quality games, and yet you've got these little things in here which are very, very annoying. But anyway, that's my little rant over about the components. Like I say, the rules are fine, so let me take you back up to the table, give you my final thoughts. Okay, I hope the how to play and the look at the components have given you a good feel for the game. You will see it's a fairly simple drafting, open market game where you're placing tiles down to combine a little bit of set collection to get lots and lots of scoring going as quickly as possible. And for that, it's super, super fun. Now, the components are giving this game a massive knockdown for me. But I don't want you to be disheartened from playing this game. And I would definitely say it's worth a play. Is it worth owning? I don't know. I got this very cheap. It was on a 50% sale. So for me, it was definitely worth purchasing at that price. And I'm glad I've got it. And I've really enjoyed playing it. 2-player, 3-player, and 4-player so far. If you saw this full price, I'd be reluctant to get it because of those component problems. There are quite a few component problems. But if you can get past that, what you're finding is a really tight, that closed economy. There's no more extra sand dollars. Every sand dollar that's dealt out at the beginning of the game is the only sand dollars you have. So really carefully choosing which towel you want to grab spending those sand dollars very reluctantly, because if you spend a lot and it gets a nice big pile, the next player will definitely on their turn just grab the whole lot, which I really like, because then they've got freedom to buy things later on, or they could just hoard them for the end of the game, which is going to give them lots of points. I think this is definitely more suited to family gamers. There's not a massive amount of strategy, but it's somehow very satisfying. That little puzzle, moving those tiles up and down. Not being able to flip them has frustrated me and a few other people, but I get it, because if they were able to flip them, there'd be too much freedom. As it stands, the game is very tight, the money is very tight. There's only effectively 12 turns if someone places a tile every single time. But I really like all of those things, because in a 20 to 30-minute game, that's what you want. You want it to be nice and tight and crunchy. Not too crunchy, but just crunchy enough. In terms of value for money, at half price, great value for money. At full retail price, I'm not so sure. I've really enjoyed my time with Maui, and I will keep on playing it and teaching it to people. The first thing I will tell people when we start to learn it is please try and get beyond the components. I'm going to swap out the player scoring tokens for some cubes. That will be a lot easier and have them definitely distinctive colours other than what the tile colours are as well. That's absolute madness. And I will keep on teaching it, and I really like it. Now, it's not for everybody because the way in which it plays, but if you like tile laying games, nice quick ones, then this might be the game for you. So yeah, I would say overall rating would be play it if you see it. I would give this a play it if you see it. Don't go hunting it down. If you happen to catch it on a sale, like I did, go for it. Great, you're going to enjoy it. But otherwise, you see it at a library, you see it at a convention, or a friend's got it, definitely have a play. I think you'll have a good time. You'll probably want to play more than once. So that is my review for Maui. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I appreciate you watching the video, and I will see you on the next one. Okay, cheers.